Which part did you like the best? I know, it's so many.
Yeah.
So many to choose from.
The story of Bran's story and Hodor's story, I think that was my favorite part of the episode. It was
Fair
the
point.
saddest, but
Yeah.
it had a lot of character and there was a lot of background too, and I think it kind of came full circle, and you really got to know the history of Hodor and then Bran's role.
That was a long time coming. They teased it that there was a story behind it earlier with the when they showed he had a name he used to talk before.
Willis, yeah.
But
It's so tragic. It's so sad.
it came out of nowhere, I'll say that.
It did come out of nowhere, and
It came out of nowhere.
It fit perfectly in the story too, but it came out of nowhere. But it was so sad that
Yeah.
his purpose was to serve him,
Mm-hmm.
but him visiting him when he was younger caused it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Time travel.
A little bit of Arya stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, a girl.
The girl has no name.
They showed more stuff with Arya and the Faceless Men cult tribe following group
Devotion.
and you get more history behind it. The whole clip they show of Arya getting a second chance, or a girl getting a second chance, and she gets shut down. Like, hey, you really want to serve our god? Then you gotta stop asking all these questions. Like, a servant doesn't ask questions.
And what a true test! Like her second chance is to go watch a play about a parody play about her father's beheading. God, that's a horrible thing.
I have to imagine that one of them were in the crowd looking at her to see how hard she'd take those hits.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone knows that that's Arya Stark.
I mean, from the Faceless Man group.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say Blue Man group, actually. Faceless Man group. I have to imagine, because that was rough. That was a rough thing to go through. She did pretty good, but exceptional would be her laughing at it. Like, that would be exceptional.
Yeah.
Yeah, like really blend into the crowd. Varys. A bit of more history, like Varys' background. Well,
giving a little sass to one of the priestesses of the Lord of the Light.
She established personality really quick.
Yeah.
It's so well written. She's the first person to see to shut Varys down, in a sense. Like, his face was just really different from when he started. Like, hey, you also said Stannis was the prince who's promised, and at the end of it, her hand on his arm, and she's like, hey, if you're really the Dany's friend. Do they call her Dany in the show? But if you're Dany's friend, then, you don't have to worry about me at all.
Yeah. It's
like a threat and a promise of, like, you don't have to worry about me. You know what I mean? It was such a deep conversation. It's such a rich conversation. And it was that, like, how she finished it off. Like, that smirk on her face.
Yeah.
Oof. She really, like... I feel like she Varys.
Met her match.
The Theon...
Iron Islands.
Iron Island stuff.
Yara.
It was interesting how they swayed the crowd.
Yeah,
and
with
then
the uncle.
Yeah, and then even the way they cut, right, when the uncle was being made, like, it looked being a made man, pretty much. Like, it looked at first like, oh, we gotta get out of here. And then when he was like, it seems like he was almost like dying, pretty much.
Well, that's the thing. That's their motto. What is
What's dead can never die.
Yeah. So they have to die, I guess.
It's
and come back to life.
Yeah, because it's like no one, like, there's no CPR. Like, you have to do it yourself.
Yeah. To show that you're truly worthy of being the king.
That's interesting. I didn't know. Oh, I forgot.
It's kind of like a nice cultural history, I guess,
Yeah.
Or like a tradition for our culture.
Yeah. I thought that they had double-crossed the guy.
Oh yeah.
At one point, well, like the way, like I said, the way they shot it, I thought they double crossed the guy.
Oh, like when they were drowning him.
Yeah, and got the hold on a second.
What is that?
Huh?
What was that?
Don't worry about it. Let's shoot the video. So I thought they double crossed the guy. I thought they double crossed the guy, and they were like commandeering, and like she was actually made like queen, and then it went back, and it's like, oh, this guy says like, oh, did they drown him? Like, you know?
Yeah.
And then
but
it was like, nah.
No, we're gonna rob you of your fleet, your starter fleet.
Well, they were gonna die.
They were gonna die.
Like, at least they had enough sense to know.
Exactly.
Like, you kill a father, like, you're a threat to his rule.
Maybe they'll go meet up with Sansa and Jon.
Who? Oh.
The Greyjoys.
I don't... Maybe they... that would be interesting.
Or Theon's in Sansa's good graces now because he helped her escape, you know?
Yeah, but I don't even know if I want to be in Sansa's good graces anymore.
Yeah.
She's gotten a real little fingery.
Yeah, she's gotten good at the game.
The student has outwitted the master almost at this point. Some more nice little pepper spot stuff with Brienne and Tormund, the wildling guy.
Oh my god, they're so cute together. It's so funny.
I did a second skim through, and I realized like the actors' facial expressions, they really informed the story a lot. And, you know, like her little, like they just worked it in a little bit, like a little subplot, and her like looking away at the guy, and then she finally mentioned, like they finally mention it, like that wildling guy, and they kind of like, hey, you know,
yeah,
we need to go into it, but it's really well done. It's just a lot. They worked a lot in there.
Yeah.
And it all worked. Like, the pacing was really good. The stories hit their stride already.
Yeah.
Like, all the exposition's been done. All the setup has been done. And now they're really getting into the meat of it. Like, these are the stories all the time. I was like, hey, we've wrapped up and started into what the new scenarios are. And it's just a lot of payoffs this episode. And it was tied together. It didn't feel forced. Loved it. Waiting for next week.
Next week looks even better. I'm excited.